Let's try this one more time now. Yo, what's up, everybody? Sorry, let me try that again. Yo, what is up, everybody? Ladies and God damn it. This is gonna be one long intro. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Blade the Reaper back here again. Finally returning and actually starting a series today. Except I recorded this episode today, but the PS4 didn't record it. And the thing's a little wonky to work with. What the hell just fell over? Oh, video controller. Never mind. Okay, let's get this started.
Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of...
I can skip it! By pressing... Oh, for fuck's sake. Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I already spent like half an hour trying to record one episode. It didn't take the first time. Anyway. No, I already have a Reaper, so let's go with Slayer. Burial. I suppose I can get a seed at the tree of the fallen giants. Pure, blessed holy water. Fire bombs. Fire gen. Nah, God. Alright, facial presets. We go with the we do character creation in this game if you're gonna play this. Just stick with standard, otherwise the game's not gonna scale right, and certain parts of armor will clip through another, or just in general, like your arms will your arms will quip through the armor. They'll clip through the armor. Yeah, I've already had a rather long day. Anyway, let's get on with this. So how are you guys feeling after that? Okay, I'm sorry about that. Base details. I just had to try and do this again because the first time around I ended up with I ended up with a dude with a really puckered up face, like it was going there for 1 second. This actually makes me feel a lot better. Maybe I should use this face instead of what I made. I'm pretty sure people will love it. But unfortunately, since I like to utilize all my armor, that's not gonna be the case. I already made this guy. There's not much of a difference between the starting class. Anyway, I'm going with Mercenary because I want to try giving Dex a chance. Or try using a dexterity based weapon. I usually go with either quality or strength. And I figured Mercenary would be the best for that. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, I figured I should give Dex a try, especially since there's not really much point leveling up magic and such. And last time I did, it was a rather rough start. There is an optimal starting build for this game. It's called Deprived. I've done that once before. Never again. Never again. Good water. I need some water after my first episode. Oh, it took so much discipline for me not to just throw my controller through my TV. Because that was BS, and if I have to do this again, I'm going to be... during this not going to be video today, if that's the case. Yeah, either I'm rising out of the ground or out of my grave. Anyway, Cemetery of Ash. Welcome to Dark Souls 3, everyone. I should probably do some explaining I did last time, but I don't really want to because I already did it. Anyway, I'm back, more or less. This is going to be my first video today. I'm only going to do like one a day. I'm going to keep them in about 30 minutes long, or at least somewhere around that same point, just to make it best for uploading purposes. Anyway, where was I going to go with this afterwards? Yeah, 30-minute long videos. This is not the only game I'm going to be playing. Eventually, I'm going to get to the other two Souls games I have for my PS4. Dark Souls 2, Scarred First Sin. That one's going to be a really negative. I'm warning you now. I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm going to play it either way. And also, Bloodborne. However, I have some other games as well. Tomorrow, I'm going to be starting a Witcher 3 playthrough. I have the complete edition of that. So, I essentially have all the DLC and all that, so it's going to be fun on that end. I can also do Fallout 4 and Darksiders 2. However, you guys are going to decide what you want to see, or if there's no save from you guys, I'm just going to say screw it, and I'm just going to go with my gut instinct. Frankly, I think I should do Fallout 4 because I'm having issues getting into it, and I just haven't gotten past the main area yet. Like, I haven't really left Sanctuary yet. I'm just setting up everyone in Sanctuary, and I haven't done much beside that. Okay, I need to fall back and heal now. Anyway, okay. Well, that turns out didn't happen in the first video. That enemy is a crystal dragon. It is a evolved version of a crystal lizard. Real big, real mean, really fun. I really like it. Anyway, you guys will see what a crystal lizard is later. As for now, we're gonna roll with the crystal dragons. Anyway, this is a tutorial area. Except for the crystal dragon. That dude is not tutorial. It's not tutorial. He's not meant to be found the first round. And he's not meant to be fought by new players. He is definitely a good way of introducing players to Souls games, though. Anyway, I'd like to take a quick moment just to remind you guys that, hang on. I'd like to remind you guys that these videos, they're highly dependent on viewers. So, you guys, it's up to you guys, and I appreciate any help, whether it be just tuning in every now and then to watch a video, liking one video, liking one of the series that you watch, one of the video series that you watch, or whether it be subscribing if you haven't already. Any of that always helps, and it's always very appreciated. Anyway, as for what I'm expecting to get out of this playthrough, well, I'm not expecting to get anything out of it. However, it does give me some of the new experience for me. I've already played this game, or beaten this game, with one character, Blade Reaper. You guys saw him in my, in that first video I have uploaded on the channel. It's definitely not one of the very first ones. I deleted all of those Dark Souls and Demon Souls because I was just not happy with the quality of them. Anyway, this should turn out a bit better. Anyway, while I'm still working out the issues with my capture card, so it'll be a little while on those. However, this should at least serve its own purpose. It'll be a way of kind of easing into things while at the same time I work out my issues with the capture card. Yes, I got the skill anyway. But I gotta go get my souls. Am I not getting his souls? Oh, Oh, come on. Imagine he spawns again. That means I can farm him, technically. But I really don't want to. This is... Funny enough, first time around, I actually beat him first try. Now I'm just struggling. It doesn't help that I'm doing commentary at the same time. Commentary plus this game is not a good combination. However, I'm most comfortable playing a Souls game, as stupid as that sounds, being this is one of the most highly regarded difficult games in more recent years. Anyway. Is there anything else important I talked about? Oh yeah, I should probably explain the intro since I skipped it. Essentially, the world is dying. The fire, which I guess is this, in this case is the sun, and yeah, I did not get the souls for that. That's BS. The fire from the fire, which in this case is, I guess, the sun. It's fading. It's dying out, and with it comes a curse of undead. However, the world is past a specific point within that set limit, and because of this, the world is more than just dying. It's reverting to what it originally was: darkness, which is one of 3 endings within the game. I'm gonna try and get the Hollow Lords ending, because that's where you usurp the fire and all that. I want to see what happens, because with some of my other playthroughs, I'm not really doing that, so yeah. Anyway, I remember I was gonna say something about getting something out of this. Yeah, I'm doing a different playstyle than I normally do. I'm going with a Dex aligned character rather than quality, focusing more heavily on strength, because I always do that, and I figure why not just try out dexterity and such, work with those weapons and such, go from there. Although I will be leveling up strength as I see necessary. And it will be fairly necessary at certain points within the game. There's certain weapon types or weapons I'm going to be aiming for. Those weapons, that weapon will come into the one particular one I want. It comes in the DLC, which I have, the Ashes of Ariandel, which we'll be exploring fairly later on. Anyway, also, just a prior heads up, while I'm not going to be asking for anything, I am going to have a friend of mine who also plays this game, Bob Teddy. I'm going to have him help me out with some bosses, because they're magic spamming noobs, and I really don't like anything that uses magic, because all they do is just spam it. It's infuriating. It's not fun. It's just annoying. But that's only like 3 bosses, I think, so I think we're good on that. I'll be facing the majority of bosses solo. There are a few I am going to summon help for, just because they're just either too strong or really annoying to deal with. Speaking of bosses, by the way, here's our first one. What we're pulling out of him is a coiled sword. Anyway, now is the point where I can begin wailing on him. This is Iudex Gundyr. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the first part right. However, I know I'm pronouncing Gundyr right. And I just walked right into that. This is the tutorial boss. Meant to get players into the habit of fast play and all that. He's also kind of the introductory to what you're going to be, or to what I'm going to be facing through this. And here is stage 2. This is stage 2 is the thing that's been implemented more recently in the Souls, starting with Bloodborne. Oh, okay. However, at the same time, it is more intimidating. It's not as dangerous as he was prior. Although, that'll be rectified later on because that wasn't even his final form. Anyway, real quick for those of you who are wondering, that thing that went from the light brown to looking like an ember thing, that is a indicator of whether or not a player is embered or not. And it also is used to distinguish what covenant you are in, which we'll get into later. As for the bars next to it, the top red one is my HP, the blue one is FP, which I don't know what it stands for, but it's essentially magic points and used for weapon hearts, which is a new system that was also implemented into this game, as well as dual-wielded weapons. However, power-stancing weapons, which honestly should have been kept, was removed. And that's a system we'll get into in Dark Souls 2 when we get to it. I'm only going to do one Souls game at a time, otherwise I know you guys are going to get really infuriated with me. Anyway, yeah. So this is Dark Souls 3. How you guys liking it so far? Supposed to have like 5,000 souls right now. Cleric's Chime. That'd be useful if I was going for miracles at all, which I'm not. Although I might level up magic a bit, even though it's just for a weapon that I'm really keen on using because it's a really cool weapon. And at the point I'll be getting it, I'll be able to upgrade pretty far and it'll be pretty effective. Dog enemies making their triumphant return. I really wish they had stopped with dog enemies. Although they did better this time around. Oh yeah, it's right. There's an Abyss Watcher sword, or not Abyss Watcher. I'm wrong as usual. This is an Abyss Watcher sword. I was thinking Sword of the Abyss. Anyway, that will require explanation, which will come a bit later on as it becomes more relevant. And just a warning, I'm going to prattle on for a bit about various stuff in this game because that's just the way I am. Anyway, the reason why I'm going with dexterity for this character instead of strength, like a strength quality like I usually do, is because I've never really done anything specifically with dex. It's always been a stat I've just gone with the flow of. It's a casual stat. I always made fun of people about all that. It's casual. It's not worth it. But then again, I was quality, so I wasn't. So technically, I was a hypocrite, or I am a hypocrite in this case. Either way, this time around, using a dex build, gonna try and make it work and level strength of it as well as I see necessary. If I don't invest in strength, then I'm gonna be severely limited in the amount of weapons I can use. Because despite the fact that certain weapons scale bear with certain attributes, it is important to distinguish that you need both stats, because if you just only level up to one, it's really limiting yourself from the better weapons that are part of the higher tier of the different classes they fall under. Although I don't think it really matters in this case because there's a thing in this game called Infusement, which is a kind of a carryover from Demon's Souls, which I really like. It allows you to change the scaling property of certain weapons. For example, I can make my current weapon scale... Oh crap. I can make my current weapon scale bear with strength rather than dexterity, or vice versa. It's and you can also do it with various other stats such as magic and faith, which I really like. It gives players who use faith a bit more option in terms of physical attacks, so that way they're not just relying solely on miracles. Anyway, this guy, he's regarded as the master, mainly because he wears the master's attire, which I actually should take a look. I didn't do that in the first episode, which I honestly should have. Okay, metal armor interwoven with coarse cloth, able to endure the hardships of battle and prolonged travel. It is light considering the build, skirting a fine balance between absorption and sustenance. Anyway, Master's Heart is kind of the same. This is roughly the same thing, or detail that you get if you look at the gauntlets. Terribly worn shirt. Men are fond of weaving tales to explain the raggedness of their garb. True. There are quite a few female people who do that. I'm one such fellow. My sixth sense warned me of danger, and I danced between flurries of blaze, unscathed. But alas, my clothes went to tatters. I don't know why, but I feel like Jack Sparrow should be reading that instead of me. I can't do a Jack Sparrow impression. Anyway, we are now in Firelink Shrine. This is the central hub for the entire game. We'll be here quite a bit. As for the X above my weapon, that is because I do not have the strength to wield it. Once again, it requires a certain amount of another stat in order to properly function. However, that ain't too much of an issue on my end, or in my opinion. Anyway, time to pop the other soul items. Gotta make up for what I didn't get from the Crystal Lizard. Alright. Those are the thrones of the Lords of Cinder. Previous lords who have linked the fire. My job, since we're past point no return, is to gather them and essentially offer them all up as flame. There's 3 actual lords who link the fire. Well, actually 4. One is already here. You can probably see him in his throne. It's the from this. Looking at the center, it's the one that's to the most immediate left. He's the only lord that came to his throne, and the one in the center, he's a lord that never linked the fire, and he is an asshole, caused a whole bunch of issues.
Another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. And they'd have us seek the Lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we are talking true legends with the metal to link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots. Don't you think?
This guy is the crestfallen. His name is Hogwood, the Deserter. Anyway, like in all Souls games, there's always this one guy who's just like, everything sucks, we're all gonna die. You know, typical downer. That's one of the main staples of the Souls games, the crestfallen.
What a sick joke. Asking us to talking.
Although he is right, we aren't even fit to be Cinder, yet we're tasked with bringing back these lords who linked the fucking fire. Anyway, actually, before I talk to her, I should probably talk to, what's his name again? Ludlith. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. The Exiled. He is the only lord that came to his throne.
All that unkindled, and a seeker of lords. I am Ludlith of Corland. Look not in bewilderment as I say. I linked the fire long ago, becoming the Lord of Cinder. If substantiation be thy want, set thine eyes upon my charred course. This sad cadaver. No need to be coy. Have a closer look.
You guys can probably tell by looking at him, he doesn't have legs, and he has been in a fire, and it is not a pain-free process. No, it's very brutal. You're essentially in an inferno.
Knowest thou of our purpose? 5 thrones will take 5 lords as kindling for the linking of the fire. The fast-fading flame must be linked to preserve this world. A reenactment of the first linking of the fire. So it is, I became a Lord of Cinder. I may be but small, but I will die a Colossus.
Essentially, the first one who linked the fire was Lord Gwyn, a character from Dark Souls 1 who originally started that. Who originally started that tradition of linking the fire. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, I got about 10 minutes so I can explore this place. Or show it around, show it off a little bit. Anyway. Plus, this will give me time to explain the first linking of the fire. It was done by Lord Gwyn to maintain the end of his age, the Age of Gods. Essentially, when the first lords of the game of Dark Souls, as you will, basically the lands start off. You'd honestly have to look up the beginning and intro of Dark Souls 1 in order to understand it. But essentially there are lords who found, or these undead creatures that found the souls of lords within this great fire. And when they claimed these souls, they went above ground and found this great vibrant land, a land of gray crags, arched trees, and everlasting dragons. And with the strength of the Lord's souls in their hands, they waged war with the dragons. There was the first of the dead, Lord Nito, who weaved a miasma of death and pestilence. Then there are the witches of Izalith and their daughters of chaos, plus 1 son. They weaved great firestorms to burn down the trees, which acted as the dragons' homes. Then finally there was Lord Gwyn and his faithful knights who used mighty bolts of lightning, the sunlight spear, to peel apart their stone scales, because these are everlasting dragons for some reason lightning super effective against stone. There's definitely a Pokemon. Okay, I'm gonna give this one more try. I'm calling it done because I can never do this. Although if I did do it, it'd be a great asset in the Arrow card game. Anyway, essentially, what has happened since in Dark Souls 1, you play as the character who defeats Gwyn, links the fire after he linked it himself. Essentially, it's a way of preserving the world, keeping the world lit and burning. However, the bearer of the Dark Soul can. There's a lot of deep stuff in this game, and frankly, I'd have to play through Dark Souls 1 to give you guys a best understanding of it. It all has to do with Dark Souls and with the Dark Soul. There's a lot that goes into this game's lore and all that. There's a lot that comes from the first Souls game. Dark Souls 2 is kind of just ostracized from the series, which I'm rather happy about because it was just a clusterfuck of a bunch of bullshit. Anyway, I'm gonna do my best to stop using profanity because reasons. I'm already having issues talking, and I haven't been doing this for too long. It hasn't even been a full hour yet. Anyway, time to talk to the Firekeeper, which is a system I wish to get rid of. I can only level up through her. So she's my only hope for leveling up.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I am a Firekeeper. I tend to the flame, and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones, and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side.